welcome back to the PC Gamer Weekend live stream. I'm still Zoe, and with me here is Jeremy to talk about Rend. But before we get started, let's have a look at its trailer. Rend, faction-based survival game set in a world infested with demons. Sounds pretty grim. Can you tell me a bit about the premise?
Well, you can see by the art style, it's not quite as grim as it might seem. We try to bring some color into the genre, but yes, it is a survival game, and that means you're going to die a lot. So yeah, our take on this is let's solve a lot of the pain points that survival players just live with over the years, like, you know, having your base raided at 4 o'clock in the morning while you're trying to sleep, and all that fun stuff. One of our big solutions for that is let's make a faction-based game. Let's make a game where you don't spawn naked and alone in the woods. You spawn naked in the woods with a bunch of friendly guys, because that's way more fun. So I mean, you can see here we're spawning in the Revenant base here. We're the color purple. You have this nice shiny, shimmery shield around the base. And that's actually going to keep us safe most of the time.
Most of the time.
Most of the time.
Yeah.
That's the important. If you're safe all the time, it's not a survival game, is it? So yeah, it's what happens is, as you saw in the trailer, there's a lot to unpack there. The shields will come down. Right now we have it at twice a week. It's an event called The Reckoning. It's pre-scheduled. You know exactly when it's going to come. When you sign up for a server, you'll see the schedule. So, oh, that's Tuesday and Thursday at 8. I like that schedule. So 8 o'clock comes, the shields drop, and you saw all the lost spawn. And their goal is to end you.
Good.
And hopefully you've done your homework. You have enough fortifications and ammo and weapons ready to go. And that's just the beginning. Because once you fight those guys off, then you get a few hours where those shields remain down, and other factions are going to come, and that's, you know, it's not a real survival game unless you can attack somebody and take their stuff.
Exactly.
So, you know, that we're trying to deliver that fantasy that you always want in a survival game, which is I want to build my castle, and I'm going to be the king of it, and I'm going to defend it. But the reality is, you usually don't get to defend it. Somebody just takes it from you while you're not there. So we're guaranteeing that before you lose all your stuff, you get to at least die trying. So
that's a great tagline for the game. Die trying.
Yeah,
perfect.
There you go. It's a step in the right direction.
Yeah. So you have 3 factions. You're the Revenants at the moment.
Yes, there's Revenant, Order, and Conclave. This is the Revenant faction. What you see here is the World Tree, which actually also doubles as a score tree. So when I go out and I'm playing with my friends and I'm gathering up all these lost spirits that I'll find out in the world, I'm going to bring them back into my Divinity Stone here, and I deposit them, and you'll see it reflected up there on the big tree. And if you walk around to the other sides of it, you'll see the other factions over there. And so you can keep an eye on how close everyone is to filling that up, because ultimately a faction is going to fill that tree up, and they're going to win. So yes, there is a win and loss condition here, which is a new wrinkle we're bringing. So if you fill that tree up, then you win, you ascend to godhood, and the game is over, and the server will restart itself, and we're still working on the details of this, but we're going to provide some sort of meta progression on top of that. So you'll unlock new avenues of progression for the next time you play the game. Maybe new talent trees, new skill trees, new recipes, things like that. So you get maybe a little stronger, but mostly a little more variety in your next playthrough, because you're going to play again and again. You don't want to play it just once.
No, definitely not. Different factions, I assume they're different in some way or another.
They have a little different lore here and there, but in our quest for perfect balance, the idea is that they're all exactly the same. So they are balanced, 100%. I can promise that right now.
Yeah. So what kind of lore does the Revenant have then in that case?
The Revenant is they're kind of your social people. They're the thinkers, the planners. They're very friendly and open and welcoming to other people. The Order, which is the orange faction, is very organized and militaristic, and then the Conclave is green, and they're kind of your sly, wily. They're gonna get one over on you somehow. You just don't know when it's gonna happen. What's funny is, when we were figuring out what these factions are and what they're supposed to do, we had a Discord channel, and we announced the names and icons and colors and said, these are our factions, go. And immediately, everyone picked a faction, and they changed their Discord logins to match that faction, and then this friendly, happy community turned into 3 tribes that just are at each other's throat the whole time. All we did was give them a name and a color, but that's really all it takes. It's tribalism is human nature, so we're kind of building on that. And it works in both ways, right? They hate the other factions, but they also immediately will defend themselves and their fellow players. And so providing that from moment one when you log in, it gives you that immediate sense of belonging and a support structure. So you're just starting out, somebody can give you some hand-me-down gear, or maybe you've been playing for a while and you just lost everything because you died way out in the caves. You got somebody to help you get back on your feet. It really makes a big difference when it comes to the pain point experience of losing everything becomes a little less painful, but it's still a survival game, so it is rough. We have all the expected survival game mechanics. I'm slowly starving to death right now.
Maybe not do that. Maybe don't starve to
Well,
death.
it turns out that I'm cheating, so I won't actually die. I thought ahead this time. So yeah, I mean, usual stuff. I can go grab some sticks from a tree. There we go. And then maybe grab some fiber from these plants. And you'll notice on the top left there, my botany skill is going up. So we've tried to infuse a lot of RPG mechanics into the game. Like skill ups. There's a class and talent system, so you can build your character in different ways. Your crafting progression is very. You have to go down this tree and this tree and this tree. The idea is that no character is going to be able to do everything. So you're going to be, I can do these things, this guy can do these things, this guy can do these things. So as a faction, everyone really relies on each other in order to progress. So that's one thing we learned from our MMO upbringing is let people be different and unique.
Let them do it, yeah. People do tend to like that generally.
So I see here, still don't have enough fiber. pardon me. So you can see all the crafting trees here. Each one of these is a whole tree worth of tons and tons of recipes that you have to work your way through. Like I can't craft this until I craft this, and you're unlocking things as you go. And it's a very progressive experience. It's not again, you don't just go out and do whatever you need to do or whatever you can do. You go out and your character is building at a very, very slow pace, but building from, I'm this guy alone, naked, to, and now I can make an axe, now I can chop down trees, to, now I can mine rocks, and now all of a sudden I can gather all this stuff around me. I start to feel really good, and then you realize, I'm only covering this little forest area right around my base. If I want to compete, I'm going to have to get farther and farther into the world, farther away from safety, and so that requires you to go into more and more foreign territory. Like I need to go into the swamp to get something to go into my next level of progression. So I go to the swamp and I'm thirsty because it was a long trek. I drink the water and all of a sudden I have swamp fever and I'm slowly dying from that. Oh, and by the way, there's poison gases everywhere, so I can't even breathe. So that's killing me.
Sounds good.
So
Sounds good.
Yeah, exactly. So now I'm going to go back to my base and I'm going to be like, okay, how do I solve this problem? And I'm looking through all my research trees and I'm like, oh, we need to research this technology will let me build like a gas mask and a water filter. And now I can survive in the swamp. So now you go out to the swamp, and now I can gather bog berries. And those bog berries let me build this medicine that helps me fight against this disease over in the fungal forest, because the spiders over there are super dangerous. And so you have to go here and here and here and gather everything from the world and use it to your advantage in order to keep progressing out away from safety and into victory.
It sounds like you definitely can't do it all on your own, though. In the trailer, we saw lots of people teaming up to hunt what looked like a giant angry boar.
So you'll see around the starting area, you'll see some rather expected and mundane creatures like boars and wolves and things like that. And then, we definitely save the more spectacular creatures for the farther off you get. You see a little bit of it in the trailer, those demon-looking things are the Lost, and they're kind of hell-bent on preventing everybody actually from winning. They hate you for reasons you'll never understand. So everywhere you go where it's really dangerous, you'll find those guys. If at night they're going to spawn on top of you and try to kill you. When the shields come down, they're going to come and try to attack your base and kill you. When you get down to the deepest areas of the game and you're really trying to win, making that final push to win, those are the guys that are going to stop you. But there's all sorts of other fantastic creatures that you're going to see out there that are very unique and interesting.
Yeah. We saw in the trailer like a strange misty, foggy area. Is that the Reckoning, or is that something else?
That is the spirit world. So think of it kind of like the Upside Down from Stranger Things, where it's kind of a mirror version of the actual world. Certainly at first, there's no way to go in there on purpose. There are going to be, events that will pop up a portal here and there, and you can hop in and explore. And this place is really dangerous. It's constantly trying to kill you. There's a debuff stacking on you all the time, pushing you out. But there's really good things in there. That's where you find really rare resources. You can find. That's actually the way you acquire mounts in our game. Is every once in a while you'll kill a creature and its spirit will detach, and it'll open up this portal. And you chase it through, and now you're in this underground. The Lost are trying to kill you. You're chasing this thing that's running away from you. But if you manage to capture it, then you have this spirit soul that you can take back to your base and turn that into a mount that you can summon and use as a mount, as a pet, that type of thing. So it's a very dangerous, mysterious place that has some of the best rewards in the game are from going in there. And if you really like it in there, then you can go spec down the Mystic Talent Tree, and there's a bunch of things in there for helping you survive and thrive in that area. Again, making you different from other people, provide your own little niche. So if somebody needs to go in there, they want to take you with them because they can really help you survive.
So can you build in the spirit world then?
No, the spirit world is not hospitable to long-term exposure. In fact, when a portal opens up, it's going to last for a certain amount of time before it closes. And so you got to get in there, get what you need, and get out before it closes. Because once it closes, then you're done. That's it.
Just
That's
trapped.
game over.
Is there like a timer or something you can see, or do you just have to kind of play it by
Not
ear?
specifically a timer, but there will be feedback that lets you know that the end is coming. You should be paying attention. But you know, you go around a corner and you lose track of where the portal is. You're in trouble.
Okay, that's good to know. This sounds like there's a ton of things to kill you in there. So
Yes.
The Lost, I'm assuming they come in different types. Like they're not just things that hit you really hard. There's like some big baddies and
you
things.
you see 3 of them, I think, in the trailer. There's the big brutes that are really just going to break down your walls and try to get in, and then you have kind of your just fodder creatures, and then you had some of the casters with the big staffs or lobbing fireballs. We got some guys coming up with new creatures that are coming online now. There's ones that they're sappers that are basically explosives on legs that are going to come try to sneak in and get your base, explode a big hole inside. I think they're planning on some sort of leaper that can use his tongue to attach itself to you and leap up onto the walls.
Lovely.
Really nasty, creepy stuff. They're demons. That's the way they're supposed to be.
That's what
But
they
yeah,
do.
and the fun thing is, especially during the reckonings, we can just sneak in patches here and there that add new creatures that everyone's used to. The creatures are there. They build their base defenses in a certain way. They're ready to go. They got everything covered, and all of a sudden, here's a new one they've never seen before. And good luck.
Good luck, yeah, geez. Thanks for talking to me about Rend. Already decided I want to join the Conclave faction, so good job there.
All right.
Thank you. So next up we have Total War Saga Thrones of Britannia, so tune in 10 minutes to see exactly what that holds.